Yesterday, in a post-cabinet briefing, the minister in the presidency, Nkobutso Nchaiveni, saying that cabinet has approved entering into a dialogue with the International Olympic Committee. It's an exploratory phase to test whether a future Olympic bid is appropriate or even feasible. They're looking at bidding for either the 2036 or the 2040 Olympic Games. Now, there has already been think tanks established here in the city of Cape Town for a 2040 bid for the city. Joining me now is a person who's part of that think tank, has spoken to us before. Guy Briggs joins me now. Good morning, Guy. Really appreciate your time. Is part of CT 2040. Were you familiar with the announcement yesterday that at least national government is looking at entering into a conversation with the IOC for a possible bid?
Good morning, Lester. Pleasure to be on the show. I think I managed to hear the announcement about 45 minutes before it went out to national media. So it pretty much took us by surprise, but very, very, very positive announcement, of course, as far as we're concerned.
Let's talk about of course, what many South Africans would ask. Do we have firstly, the financial capacity, also the facilities? Now, it's still 15 years before the year 2040. But let's talk about the cost and funding.
That's always, of course, the most controversial point that everybody raises. And I have yet to see a definitive study as to whether games cost or suck up too much money. My view, and I'm not an economist, and you'll need to talk to Professor Johan Fourie at Stellenbosch to get a more definitive economics answer. But my view on this is that the benefits, if properly harnessed, of an Olympic Games far outweigh the costs. Of course, they cost money. But what one also needs to do is distinguish between the operational costs, which are funded through ticket sales and IOC contributions and broadcast rights and the like, and the capital expenditure costs, which is where the bulk of the money sits, and that is money that goes into infrastructure that we need.
Before we get ahead of ourselves, and just to clarify, this is not the announcement of a bid. This is an announcement to explore the possibility of a bid. You have been part of CT 2040 for a while now. Do you know if national government has explored, if any, of the metros, whether it be Joburg, eThekwini, Cape Town, are looking to host a bid? Have you been approached to match up what national government may be considering, or are you open to presenting what CT 2040 has already down on paper?
So we've been what can I say, in some behind the scenes discussions for the best part of this year. None of the metros has definitively come out and said they want to host the games. There is a good deal of circumspection, for good reason. I think, as voters, we wouldn't want any of our politicians scrambling over themselves to run off and spend loads of money hosting a games. We would want a proper balanced approach to this. I can't really speak for Johannesburg or eThekwini or any other of the other major metros, but in terms of Cape Town, our mayor has not ruled it out and not ruled it in. He is certainly open to the idea and is open to persuasion and keen to do it if it can be shown to be a net positive event for the city.
There's, of course, a political conversation around this, and the would have to be if the minister announced it in a post-cabinet briefing. But have you gauged the appetite of Cape Townians and South Africans if we really want this? I opened up the show about using our imagination more to market us as a destination, and we have to use all sorts of, whether it be mega events, whether it be political gatherings like the G20, to imagine ourselves on where we fit on the international stage. But have you gauged any public appetite for a bid?
We have not done any definitive studies by any means, no. I can say we've done a lot of ad hoc testing of opinion out there, and opinions are divided. I've had a lot of positive feedback. I've also had a lot of people say to me, no, it'll never work. And if you read various social media things, a lot of people are potentially against it. But, I was struck this morning, Lester, when you mentioned Adi Enthoven's podcast of earlier this week with John Matham, and we do get trapped in this declinism argument. I think South Africa is in one of the most positive trajectories that it's been in nearly 2 decades. And now is the time for us to definitively start exploring how we use these mega events to continue the positive trajectory and to build on the good things that have happened over the last 2 years.
Guy Briggs, really appreciate your thoughts. I put it to you. 2036 or 2040, a possible South Africa bid for an Olympic Games. I put it to you. What's your appetite? Should we arrest ourselves in our declinism and say, yes, let's put in a bid. Let's put ourselves again on the world stage? Let me know.